Hello, everyone. Let me start that again. I'm Gregory, and you might notice that things have changed a little bit. Welcome to Season 2 here with Tabletop Galaxy, Second Sunrise. For the moment, I will be the GM. I'm going to start us off by doing some intros, but before I do an intro for myself, I want to send it around the circle so everyone here can introduce themselves first. So, Nifer, would you please tell us who you are and what you're doing and who you're playing this evening?
Hi, I'm Nifer. I am playing Elly, the Twi'lek colonist politico, and I am also found on the Not Quite Heroes podcast, where I play a ghost, and her name is Sky, and she's great. You can find us at NQH Podcast. And I'm also on a Curse of Strahd game that runs opposite Wednesdays from this at close to the same time. And you can find us at Last HP Hero. So, yeah. Come hang out with me. I'm pretty fun, I think.
You are definitely fun.
Thanks.
There's nothing to be thinking about there.
Go, Nick!
Hey,
Whoa.
Nick, you're next.
Hey, everybody. My name is Nick. I will be playing Kane McAllister. He is a human hired gun mercenary soldier. There was probably something else.
Where can we find you?
I'm on the tweeters sometimes, at Lizard King Nick. So it's where you'll find that. Sometimes I'm on Tabletop Galaxy. So you have to decide
cool.
whether or not it's me or Seal. Could be either, could be neither.
Sometimes it's me, because I just hop on to be a little shit sometimes.
There you go.
Sounds good. All right, Kevin, how about you? Tell us about yourself.
All right, I'm Kevin. You can find me on Twitter on one of these sides at Son of Clark, and I'm going to be playing Corvix 93, a droid colonist doctor with a little bit of an existential crisis going on.
Aren't we all? I resemble that remark.
Yeah.
So, hey everyone, and welcome. I am Gregory. You can find me online at 1in20D&D or right here with Tabletop Galaxy. I've also recently been a guest on Dicey Cantina, which is amazingly fun. And I do a couple things with the Dice Tyrants, with Last HP Hero. Just all kinds of fun stuff are happening. So hit me up on Twitter, Gregory Festo, or YouTube, whatever, and I'll tell you all about it. But for tonight, I am taking over the role as the Space GM. Steven has passed the torch to me. He had other projects that were very important to him that he had to focus his attention and time on. Plus, we all have lives. We are adults, so things change, and that's okay, and we roll with it and move on. And I should say that early on, way back when we were in the very early stages of organizing Tabletop Galaxy, one of the things that we had discussed was having a round robin of GMs where we would do short story arcs, maybe even one-shots, but just find fun ways to play this amazing game with the Fantasy Flight game system in the Star Wars universe. And so that's essentially what we're doing here in Season 2. I'm kicking it off. We will have these three wonderful players. Once my story arc has played through, I may continue into another one, or more likely, we'll have another person step into the GM's chair for a little while, and we'll have we'll rotate some of our characters in and out, and just have fun that way. So that's what you can expect here coming up in the future. Now, with the intros and the hey, what's going on, let me do a recap of where things are at with the crew of the Second Sunrise. The most important thing I want to do is let me fix Roll20. Hey, we're just getting back, so give us a moment while we do this. I promise in editing this stuff will all come out, but we are live, so
And it's been a long time since we've played, so we're all a little rusty.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
Many, many months.
I'll just fill in this gap and vamp for time a second with saying I'm really excited to see what it looks like to have 2 colonists in the game. And just have us be completely like, nope, we're not gonna fight anybody.
Full roleplay, but I am okay with the blaster too.
I am not. I'll just stand here and encourage you guys.
Just don't get caught with a tray of drinks in your hand.
I'll get caught with cheese fries in my hands. Somebody's gotta.
There we go. I think I've got it now. So that's what we were looking for. Thank you for filling in the space for me there, my friends. All right. So with that being done, let me now, as I was going to do a quick recap. Make sure that doesn't change. Oh, we're good. All right. So here's the quick recap. The crew of the Second Sunrise, which was Elly, Zarko, Kane, and Vosk, agreed to a job infiltrating an Imperial compound to gather information regarding a hyperspace travel jammer. After a complicated party split, the crew took the info to the Rebellion, who asked them to go to Nar Shaddaa. They encountered the Evokai, a long-thought extinct race who created the jammer technology to end their oppressors, the Hutts. The crew protected the jammer alongside Black Sun operatives, including Elly's cousin. Realizing that this tech was hurting the innocent merchants and traders caught in its field, the group sprang into action, destroying the machine and barely escaping with their lives. They now find themselves on Socorro looking for work and trying to repair the Second Sunrise. So that's what happened in the first season. We're going to do our roles to get the game going. Then I'm going to read the actual crawl text, which One Crit Wonder did an amazing job of, and only because it's got the actual cool music for a starting crawl. We're not going to play it for you here tonight. I'm just going to read it. But please do, when you have time, go to our YouTube channel and check it out because it's awesome and it will set up our season 2 for you very nicely. I'll read that after we do our opening roll. So let's get the rolls going, everyone. We're gonna start with obligation. So in roll 20, we're gonna I know. Let's get it out of the way. In roll 20, I think I need to do this one.
Yeah.
And I just need to double check I've got it set right. We have Corvix with 10, right? So I set that up. Okay, so then let me make sure this one's set. Yep, okay, the weights look to be correct. So let's see if this works right. Here we go.
Did I get some taken off, right? I should have
currently
18?
Yes, you currently have 17.
Sweet. I got 3 taken
Yes.
off.
You got
You
3
did
taken
it.
off. Hopefully
I earned that.
yeah, indeed. And hopefully all of you will be able to slowly work that out. So we'll see how that goes. But here we go. Rolling obligation. Let's see what happens.
Ah!
Oh, I'm sorry, Elly.
It happens.
It's
It's
Elly's
fine.
obligation. All right, so we'll see what happens there.
My cousin had plot armor. Why wouldn't I be stressed? Like, the one time that I tried to shoot somebody last season and they had to survive for storyline.
I mean, for sure. All right, so obligation's done. Let's now do the fun roll. You three roll the destiny points. So open your character sheet.
I got 2 light sides.
Hey, way to start, Nif.
Yay!
That's 2 for Elly. 2 light side for Elly, I should say.
2 light side.
Ooh.
Wow.
One dark side for Kane.
I definitely know how to do this.
Okay, so it's on your character sheet right under Destiny Pool. There's a sync pool with GM and then Roll Destiny. Just click the Roll Destiny. It'll do it. Front page.
Front page.
Yep.
Destiny pool. Okay, I have it minimized. That's why I couldn't
You got
find
it.
Roll Destiny.
Yes.
Roll
That's
it.
the one.
Boom.
Yeah!
Hey!
Tell them
Y'all
what
are
you
starting
got.
out very nicely.
Kev, tell
so
them what
you
you
have.
got. Say it out loud.
Yes,
I got 2 light side points.
that's awesome.
Kane being
So-
a letdown.
That means we have 4 light side, 1 dark side for this evening. Fantastic. That's a good way to start. So remember to use them. I will try to remember to remind you all to use them when they come up. All right. So that's the fun roll. Another one of the fun rolls, and the last one for now is the ship quirk. So, Nif, if you would do the honors
Absolutely.
for us.
Do you want to explain the ship quirk, or do you want me to?
Yes, and due to the nature of what is happening, like how we're starting the session, I'm gonna say this is like the thing that is happening right now. So, the ship quirk, or you can explain it. Why
Okay,
don't you explain it?
so the ship that our crew has is an excess stock light freighter, which is a ship that is way out of its time and is thousands of years old. And because of that, we decided, something that would be really cool about having this really cool ship, but having it be so out of time would be stuff is wrong with it. So we've come up with quirks, like previous ones that we've had before are, no matter what we do with the atmospheric controls, one of the cargo holds is always locked at 20 degrees Celsius. Or the pilot controls jump from the cockpit to one of the turrets intermittently, or stuff like that. Or the toilet flushes whenever the ship enters or exits hyperspace. Just fun things that give character. And today, let me count. I know how to count. One of the crew's quarters doors does that constant opening and shutting thing, like when there's always something in front of the sensor.
Nice. So, what? Nick, why don't you roll a d4 for us, and we'll see who it is. I'm gonna say, we'll say 1 is Elly, 2 is Kane, 3 is Vosk, and 4 is Zarko.
I got a 2.
All right, sorry, Kane. So your door is gonna keep opening and closing, and so it's like, the door opens. I imagine you're like, you say like, who's there, or some kind of thing like that. Anyway, that's been going on. I'm sure it's leading to a little bit of frustration. So let's go into the opening crawl for season 2. So again, please go check out the YouTube channel, because the opening crawl that we released on our Tabletop Galaxy YouTube is awesome. And here's what it says. A chance encounter with a rebel agent led to the crew of the Second Sunrise infiltrating an Imperial compound, seeking a dangerous new technology. Armed with only corrupted data and a string of strange coordinates, they traveled to Hutt space seeking a device rumored to break space itself. On an uncharted world surrounded by wreckage, the leader of the dying Evokai people laid out his plan of revenge for their stolen homeworld. Things rose to a crescendo on Nar Shaddaa as the crew met the other hired mercenaries to escort the device to an abandoned warehouse for activation. As the skies began to fill with exploding ships, the crew double-crossed the mercenaries and destroyed the device, escaping in the confusion as Hutt enforcers attacked from all sides. Now, the crew finds themselves back on the planet Socorro, taking whatever jobs they can to keep the ship in the air and credits in their pockets. So, this is where we find ourselves. So, you escaped, you limped through space. The Second Sunrise got battered pretty well on its way out, and it's taken a tiny bit of damage that will probably need repairs. And deciding that, well, the best opportunity for that was probably back on Socorro, you all decided that not only could you find probably some jobs and some work there, you would probably be able to find the help and the tools and so forth that you really needed. So, that being said, I would like to ask, Kevin, did you have the NPC that I had asked you about? I didn't see you send any information to me, but you have that in mind?
Yes.
So would you tell me a little bit about who that NPC is? Because you are currently having a short conversation with them.
So
The NPC. Who's the NPC?
the NPC would be a character named Jaina.
Jaina, okay.
Is it Jaina
The-
Solo?
Not Jaina Solo. But she is the sort of the only friend that Corvix has on Socorro.
Okay.
She's the only person that's treated him the way that he feels he deserves to be treated.
Excellent. Perfect. Okay. So the camera opens. We see this moment where a droid, and I'm going to have you describe what Corvix looks like, is having a conversation with Jaina. And she says to you, look, Corvix, I may have... I know you've been struggling to find your way here, and I know this world and this city of Achaea aren't probably to your liking, but I have something that might help you out. And as she says that, who is she talking to?
So Corvix resembles, like many of the other humanoid droids in the galaxy, has somewhat of a protocol build to him. He's this almost rusty red, and rusty is a very good descriptor of color because it's also a good descriptor of chassis. He looks beat up and worn down by the galaxy around him. Unlike a lot of other droids, he doesn't actually have like a face that you would recognize. He doesn't have humanoid photoreceptors or like a mouth that for his vocoder to speak out of. It's just like this like hole in his face, basically, that you can see some machinery in.
Awesome. So it's like a sort of a window, if you will.
Yeah, like it's just like a dark spot. You can, like I said, you can see the machinery. It's just like right there on the surface, but there's no like clear photoreceptors. There's no glowing lights or anything in there for people to make eye contact with.
Awesome.
Is there like a glass plate in front of it, or if I was careful, could I just like stick my hand right in it?
You could just stick your hand right on in.
I'm not gonna do that.
Cashy70 in the chat says a whole lot of handsome. Absolutely. So you're facing Jaina, and she says to you, I may have some information for you. Okay. So we're gonna leave you with that. Okay. She's gonna provide you with someone to speak with. Now, the galaxy's in turmoil, and the Empire grows ever stronger, tightening its grip on the galactic citizenry, while the rebellion struggles to grow its numbers and its opposition to the tyrannical rule of the Emperor. On the edge of the Empire, these affairs seem to be the far-off concerns of other citizens. Here on the edge, the concerns are far more personal and immediate. Having just returned after a successful yet troubling mission, the crew of the Second Sunrise docks their ship in Achaea, the capital city of Socorro. The Second Sunrise is damaged and in need of repairs, and the crew is in need of funds. Here at the edge, jobs are plentiful, but there's always competition. And you never know when you'll end up on the wrong side of a blaster. As the afternoon heat causes a rippling effect on the visible horizon, the weary crew disembarks their ship. And I want to ask you players to make sure you have the sound turned up in Roll20. I should have asked you earlier. I forgot to when we were setting up. I have something that I'm going to play for you all now.
It might not come across for the stream.
It should still come across the
Cool.
stream. Yeah. So just let me know when you got your sound turned up in Roll20 so you can hear it.
In theory, I have it.
Nothing's playing yet, but
'Kay.
in theory it should work. All right.
Mine is
Nick, you ready?
maximized.
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect. Nick, you're muted. But
Yeah, I think so.
All right, here we go. Well, the ship's definitely seen better days, huh? Hey, Vosk, you think you're going to be able to fix this or what?
Well, here's the thing about that. I've been running diagnostics since we got done with the job on Mongaza, and I guess the good news is it's not as bad as it looks. The bad news is it looks real bad. Yeah, I don't have everything we're going to need to fix this, though. with the ship being as old as it is, some of this stuff might be kind of hard to come by. So we can hit up Drifters again and see if he's got any leads, or go pawing through a scrapyard. But either way, it's going to take time and effort. You want to come with me into town and see what we can figure out?
Yeah, sure. Probably a good idea if we watch each other's back anyway, huh? All right, gang. Find us some work, and we'll check in with you soon. We'll keep the comms open in case you need us. And with that, Vosk and Zarko excuse themselves and walk off to head towards Drifters and maybe some scrapyards and whatnot.
Epic.
So they leave you. That was my little surprise treat for you all. Seeing as how Wonder couldn't be with, we don't have Vosk in this little session right now, or this little mini arc. He will be back at some point, but I wanted to have some fun with that. So rather than me doing all the voicing, I thought it'd be cool if we did something like that. So
Now I really missed them.
I know, but they'll be back. All right, so Vosk and Zarko, they head off towards Drifters. They tell you they're gonna focus on fixing the ship because it is the hull's pretty badly damaged. Some of the circuitry is messed up, and Vosk needs time to work on it. And between the two of them, they can probably pull off the repairs themselves, but they may need help in the way of funds to get that accomplished. So they basically asked the two of you to find some work. And so you two are essentially you're standing at the foot of the ship's landing platform or landing ramp, and as you watch them walk off, do you have a conversation? What would you two like to do?
Well, I guess we gotta go find some work here.
Yeah, the last place that we were here was the Imperial compound, but let's not go there, so I guess our only other option is Vertex?
Yeah, I don't think they'd be offering us any work.
Alright, off we go. Let's go.
Spectacular. Yes. So with that, you decide you should head over to good old Furtox to see what you can find out there. That is usually a good place to drum up some work, and at the very least, you can have a good drink. So with that,
So on the way, Kane will look to Elly and say, "So we haven't talked much about what happened. I saw you try to shoot a guy."
I mean, that's not out of the ordinary. You shoot people all the time?
Yeah, I do. I shoot a lot of people a lot of the time.
Yep.
But you don't.
Yep.
What?
Did you catch his name?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem important enough to remember at this point.
It's the same family name as mine.
It was like Hadron or Halo or
Yep.
Hexagon. Who
Ono
knows?
Heron. And he is my cousin. And he's still in the family that I'm running away from. So I prefer it if he didn't know we were around.
Well, I'm pretty sure he knows you're around at this point.
Yep, didn't go the way that I was expecting.
We'll have to work on that a little bit, probably.
I will delegate the shooting to you from now on.
It's probably a good idea, but also I'm a little worried about you.
Why?
I don't know. Kind of stops and looks around for a second. I don't know if I would have had the guts to do something like that. We all got family troubles, you know?
It's not about guts, it's about doing what has to be done so that I stay alive. you know, I it's exactly what he would have done. And I kind of reverted to that. Usually
But
I'm trying to get better.
isn't that why you left? Make a difference, make a change?
I was very stressed. Okay? And I don't know, it's not really something I thought about. It just kind of happened.
Yeah. Well, and he'll walk kind of sort of side to side with you, and then kind of look at you and just say, "Don't lose yourself out there," and then continue on.
I don't think I have found it yet.
How is Elly feeling after that conversation?
Stressed! Or if you will, strained.
Nice. So what are her thoughts about her cousin is like the bigger question, I think.
So, Elly came from the Black Sun, where that type of behavior probably was not uncommon. Of, you're in my way, I get you out of my way. And she was raised in that situation, so that's very base instinct, but all of running away has been, I'm trying to not be that. But it's a very high stressful situation, so she's like falling back on her instincts of like, get them out of my way and as fast away as you can, which means shooting them. And so it's like, okay, well, I did a bad thing again. It's been 0 days since my last drink, like all that. But yeah, just stress, strain.
Awesome. And then what was the reason that Kane asked Elly about this? Why did
Is
he
this
bring
couples
it up?
counseling?
No.
This feels like
I'm
couples
it's just
counseling.
helping the No. It's about helping the, helping the viewers or listeners understand like what goes on inside the head of the characters. We don't always get that. So just getting a little deeper into the characters.
Yeah, she spent the last I don't know, whatever, few weeks, months we've been together. I guess it's been months at this point. Not wanting to shoot, not wanting any part of confrontation, happy to let anyone else take care of it. And then in what looked like a regular moment, she whipped out her blaster and shot this guy in cold blood. So it was quite a change from the Elly that Kane had seen and known. And so checking on his friend. He hadn't got many of those in the galaxy.
Aww.
Awesome. Spectacular. So you two find your way to the to Fairtalk's lounge, and it's actually, when you landed the ship, it was sort of early evening, later in the day, maybe 5-6 o'clock or something like that. By the time you like square things up and get the ships set and paid for and all that, pay for the berthing and all that, then you head over there. It's not quite time for like a meal or anything like that, but when you enter into Fairtalk's lounge, the scene is bumping. There's like music, and there's lots more people than you're sort of used to on a regular kind of afternoon, early evening. And you notice that there's actually like a band set up and playing, and it seems to be a few instrumentalists with a singer, and the singer is she is a Thelin. So I would like you both to roll. I think this would be knowledge, one of the knowledges, and I would take arguments for anything, like Outer Rim or knowledge. Yeah, any of the knowledges. So let me know which one you want to roll.
I can offer you lore, or I can offer you core worlds. Those are the only ones I'm good at.
Okay, let's go with lore. That might work. Yeah.
Okay.
I got 2 green across the board, so Outer Rim sounds good to me.
Sure. Perfect.
Is
All
there
right.
like a difficulty at all, or nah?
Yeah, sorry, we should have said that. So we'll accept those and see what happens here. Let me.
Let's call out our dice pools, remember, because we're doing this for the podcast. So, Kane, what'd you get?
Kane's got 2 success, 1 advantage.
And Elly got 2 advantage.
Okay, so because I'm not used to doing this, I'm going to now ask you to do the roll again.
Okay.
With
Pick up.
the correct. I was just going to make it average, not difficult, but if you want to go to your character sheet and just roll 2 purples, and then we'll do the math, that would be perfect.
Hooray, math. Oh, I rolled a green one for some reason.
Elly got one failure and 1 threat,
Yep.
which for her lore would mean she had a failure,
One failure and
one
one advantage.
advantage. Okay, super. So you don't recognize them, but maybe you're familiar with the music that they're playing.
Yep.
And if you and at your strain and I think your wounds probably by this point have all been zeroed out.
Yes, except for
we're
that
gonna
my
say
strength
that's the
threshold
case.
is lower because of the obligation.
Exactly.
And I inflicted myself 1 strain from that conversation.
Well, actually, everyone's. We should have made that clear.
You sorry?
Sorry, y'all. I'm so new to this, so please bear with me. So, yes, Kane and Corvix would have dropped 1, and Elly's dropped 2. That is your strain threshold for the session.
Because
should have made
my
that clear
obligations are stressing us out.
Right. And so Kane ended up with 2 success and 1 threat. So, I'm going to suggest that. So, Kane, you know that the singer is. Let's see. The singer is Rystal Sant. I hope I'm saying the name right. Rystal Sant. And Rystal Sant is known to be a singer with that is fairly well known, singer slash dancer that's fairly well known in the Outer Rim, because she sings in fact with the Max Rebo band, or she worked as a singer slash dancer with the Max Rebo band. But apparently tonight she's here doing her own thing, maybe taking a break from traveling with them or what have you, or maybe they have split. Who knows? That's unclear. For the threat, or do you have an idea, or would you like me to recommend one, or do you just want to take a strain?
I'll probably take a strain. I was thinking that Kane would be familiar with said dancer, but is uncomfortable with the fact that he is familiar with said
It's
dancer.
your ex.
Nice.
So he's gonna take a strain, trying to like hide the blushing and the obviousness about him.
Yeah.
For sure. So for those of you in chat, I just posted a link if you want to check out what she actually looks like. And for the players, I'm going to show you
Is
an
this a
image.
canon character?
So this is
It
someone
is.
from the story. Yep, you
Oh,
might recognize
yeah.
her. So we're just having fun, right? So there you go. So that's
Oh, she was definitely
essentially
an ex, dude.
what she looks like. So Rystal Sant is, again, she's a Theline, but Kane, with 2 successes, I'm going to say you actually know she's a hybrid. She's not actually like a purebred. And one of the things about Theline is they're very unusual. They're very uncommon in the galaxy. The hybrids are slightly more common, but still it's sort of a rare sight. And she's the crowd, you can tell like the crowd is here to see her. Furtalk is serving drinks. She's actually got a bunch of others. So for those that are new or first time here listening, Furtalk is actually a Wookiee, and she owns this cantina and is someone that the crew has had very positive dealings with in the past. They tend to like each other, and Furtalk has helped them out before. So this is one of the reasons they came here. Plus, Furtalk has her ear to the goings on in Vacaya, so tends to know where the jobs are and so forth. So you see Furtalk just busily bussing about, serving drinks and so forth. She actually, I'm gonna say she actually, after a few moments, notices the two of you walk in and kind of gives you a wave and maybe points you to the back where a lot of people are sort of dancing and hanging around the bar. But off to the sides, there's probably a table with a couple chairs you could find, or a bench you could find, and so she sort of points you over in that direction.
Yeah, let's go.
Kane's gonna walk over, sit down, and like pop the collar on his cool guy jacket, and try to like hold the one side up.
Awesome.
On the subject of not acting in character, what is this?
What is what? I'm just it's popping my collar.
Hot in here or something?
Is it? I didn't notice. I mean, he's like scanning around the room, like looking around.
I'm just gonna be a little happy about this. It's fine. All right. I'll get us drinks then.
Oh, are you gonna go up and get drinks, or are you gonna sit down?
Sure,
and wait?
I'll just like go grab 2 from the bar and bring them back. It's faster that way.
Okay.
Just somebody else's drinks. She sets them down, and you just take them and leave.
Yep.
So you head over to the bar, and again, it's loud. There's noise from the crowd and from the music and stuff. It's more like, again, this is more like jizz music, which is the Star Wars equivalent of jazz music. So it's kind of chill and mellow. Think maybe like something along the lines of like a Frank Sinatra kind of sound, or any kind of lounge singer kind of vibe. So it's not like loud and boisterous, but she's a very attractive individual, and so she's drawn quite a crowd. You do notice, actually, I'm not even going to tell you that until you roll perception for me. This will also be average.
All right, I had 2 purples.
Tell me.
Or do you want to do it?
I will take care of it. Give me just
Okay.
a sec. Let me set the dice pool, 'cause that's my job. I think it's now ready. Go for it.
All right, I got... Okay, well...
Wow.
Kane also rolled, so I got 1 success and 4 advantage.
Yeah, this was for both of you, actually.
Oh, good.
Because I just want to get just a general gist of what's happening in there.
Also,
All right.
I don't see the purples in the dice pool.
Ah, beans.
What? All right. Why did that? Oh, that didn't work right either.
Our destiny pool.
Where did it go?
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I fixed it.
We know what we have.
Why did it not?
You can't fool
It's
us.
set, so it should work. Try rolling one more time, see what happens.
Okay, but I reserve the right to keep all of my advantages.
Yes.
Hey, there it
absolutely.
is.
There we go. Okay.
Ooh.
All right, so let's do the math. So we'll do Elly's first. So
Sweet.
Elly originally had 1 success and 4 advantage, and that is balanced by 1 failure and 2 threats. So no successes, 2 advantage. Think about what you want to do with those 2 advantage. For Kane rolled 2 success, 1 advantage, canceled by 1 failure, 1, and add 1 advantage. No. Oh, I see. So canceled by
He's got 2 advantage.
failures.
Yeah, Kane's
okay,
got 2
so you end
advantage.
up with 2, just 2. Oh, so you both get 2 advantage. Okay. So let's see. think about how you want to use the 2 advantage. I'm going to say you're each going to get a boost on your next roll. So whatever your next roll is, you're both going to have a boost. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Lovely.
Cool. All right, so as you walk over, Furtok sees you. After a moment, she comes over to Elly and essentially says, "Elly, how you been? Special tonight is the Lothal Spice Brew."
That sounds good for me, but I know that Kane doesn't like spicy stuff, so he'll get his usual Corellian ale, please. Thank you.
Fantastic. Say, where are Kane and Vosk? Excuse me, where are Vosk and Zarka?
Where is Vosk and Vosk?
Exactly. I'm going to mess up the names, everyone. Just bear with me.
Even when he's not here, we're gonna mess up his character names.
Seriously.
We're kind of splitting up to do some double work. The others are looking for repairs for the ship, and Kane and I are looking for jobs or information, anything. So if you got any ideas for us, we'd love to hear them.
While she's listening as she's getting the drinks ready, she said, "Ooh, ooh," and it translates as like, "I'm not surprised. Real busy right now. Just give me a minute. I'll talk to you in a sec." And,
No worries.
And so she hands you your drinks and signals for you. It's just 2 credits. That's all.
Sweet. I give her 3.
So, all right.
'Cause
So
we tip our waiters and waitresses.
she gives you a wink. All right, so you take the drinks and wend your way through the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
After a short time, maybe it's a little while, maybe 20, 30 minutes or something like that. Reistelson and the group decide that they say to everyone, they're like, "All right, everyone, give us a few minutes. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in, just a few." And so she says something to the crowd, and says, "Make sure you tip your waiters and get yourself something to drink. We'll be back shortly." And she exits the stage, followed a moment later by the instrumentalists. And it's about that time that after about 5 minutes or 10 minutes of like the crazy rush at the bar kind of thing, Furtok pulls herself away, leaving her assistants. And you notice that some of the regular helpers that she has are there, but she's also got a couple of extras that you don't recognize that maybe are just like temporary or something for the evening.
If there's one thing I hate about season 2 episode 1s, it's introducing these characters that, we've got the favorites in the bar, like we already know who we like, and now all of a sudden there's new people in the bar. What is with that?
Give season 2 people a chance.
I hate new characters.
Setting the stage. We're just setting the stage. All right.
New characters are the worst.
Right? So Furtok comes over to the table, and she's got a rag in her hand or whatever. Actually, she brings over a refill, like a fresh drink for same drink you had ordered. She brings it over, and she says, "This round's on the house. So about that work, why don't you come with me?" And then she turns and heads back towards her office.
Yep. We've been there. We've gotten several stern talkings, too.
Where is that office in relation to...
Oh, do you have to walk past your girl?
Man, I've already forgotten the name.
Well,
Reistelson.
this is why she broke up with you.
Are you actually saying that you've had a relationship with her? That's kind
He probably
of
calls her Reese.
I don't know.
Cute little pet name.
I kind of like it. I feel like it's
Alright,
canon now.
You at least know who she is, so maybe you've had some chance encounter.
Look, the more that we reference
so-
on-screen characters, the closer we get to becoming canonized ourselves.
Fair enough. All
Kane
right,
has fond memories of running his fingers through her red frills.
Yeah, exactly. So, Furtok brings you into her office, and as you walk in, you see that the office is not empty. In fact, Reistelson I'm gonna say Ristal. I think that's better. Ristal song is in there, and
Oh,
there's
no.
also a droid, rust colored, kind of ovoid face, and Corvix. They probably didn't notice you when you first. I mean, their perception checks were horrible, but that set aside, you may have been in this office for some time. I don't know how interested you were in listening to the music, but this is so Jaina told you to come to Fair Talks and talk to Ristal. So Fear Talk has arranged this little meeting, and so Fear Talk. Again, and I'm not going to do the Wookiee voice the whole time. I'm just going
Yay.
to say what she says. So Fear Talk says, "Come on in, friends, and close the door for me, would you?" So you sit down,
Kane.
and you can see this. This is after Ristal is kind of like wiped her sweat off, and you can see she's enjoying a drink. She's actually relaxing quite comfortably in Fear Talk's chair. And Corvix, the only conversation she came in like probably just a minute or two before Fear Talk did with these two other individuals. So she says, "All right." So Fear Talk says, "All right, friends. Y'all know me, but you don't know each other. So here's the quick introduction. Ristal, this is Corvix, Kane, and Elly. Corvix, I don't know from very much other than coming from a good recommendation from my friend Jaina. And if Jaina says Corvix is okay, I guess that means Corvix is all right by me. But I can personally vouch for Kane and Elly here. You all have business to discuss, and I've got a bar to run. Beautiful set, Ristal. Can't wait to see the second half." And at that point, Fear Talk steps back out of the office to go handle the patrons and so forth. So there's this awkward moment where everyone is kind of like looking around, probably like, okay, who's gonna start? Do any of you say or do anything?
I'll start. I only know how to talk, so that's what I'll do. I, knowing nothing about the tension between Kane and our new friend, just kind of get right down to it of just like, okay, so apparently we all have a common interest. Do you know what that is about?
Well, you see, and she's looking directly at Kane. There's this like flicker of recognition, but it seems to amuse her more than upset her. And so she says, "Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm Ristal Sant. You may know me. I'm somewhat famous here on the edge, but that's no matter. The real deal is, a girl's got to find her way through the galaxy any way she can. Am I right?" And she looks at Elly and kind of, for affirmation or whatever. Says, "It just so happens that, well, not only do I perform on stage, but it amuses me to put together deals from time to time. And it just so happens that I've got a client who is in need of some assistance. I spoke to my old friend Fairtalk, and Fairtalk said that, well, she might just have the individuals who could handle the assistance that was needed. Are you interested in hearing more, dears?"
What's the pay?
Oh, the pay. Right to the point, isn't it? Wouldn't you like to know what's involved first?
Look, whatever you're throwing our way, we can handle it.
I suppose you look like you can handle yourself.
Please tell me she does
and
that
there's
little walk her fingers up his arm thing right now.
there's a
'cause that
little
would
bit,
be
yeah.
prime.
There's a little bit of edge, yeah. There's a little bit of innuendo, kind of under what, like she says, yeah. I bet you can, or something like as if she knows you can, kind of thing. And so she says, "Well, Pay, I think I know what you're looking for, Mr. Corvix. Let's just say that before I can entrust you with more sensitive work, as it were, let's start with something simple first, shall we? A little appetizer. How does that sound to everyone? I assure you the pay is solid, and I think it's an easy job that 3 capable individuals should be able to handle with relative ease."
3 individuals. There are 4 of us.
I only
Corvix
count
looks around.
3.
Well, the other 2 ran off on some wild goose chase, but I'm sure they'll be back soon.
What Kane means is we have partners back on our ship, which, by the way, we have a ship, so we're very self-sustainable and very capable. So, just tell us what the job is.
Well, that very well may be, and if you care to subcontract, that's entirely up to you. I'm making this partnership with 3 of you. Here's what I need. You see, there was a shipment that was going to be delivered here to Socorro, and it turns out that the pilot of the ship is a friend of mine. He sent me a distress call. It seems that he was attacked on his way en route and had to crash land. He didn't make it here to Vacaya. Now, you see, I desperately wish to recover the shipment he had on board. You know how it is when you're smuggling things. Losing the shipment is bad for business. So I need someone to go on a recovery mission. If you're interested, you'll be offered 500 credits each for returning a total of 4 crates. How does that sound?
Sounds a little suspicious. What's the catch here?
Suspicious?
You know,
What
you're
makes you
not
say
going
that?
to forget to mention that there are people also in trying to get the shipment, or it landed right near the Imperial compound, or things like that. We want to make sure you're giving us all the information.
Why don't you give me let me think what's the appropriate skill here. I definitely want a skill check from Elly.
Cat fight, cat
So-
fight.
No, it's not at all. But you know, you're there's a little give and take, of course,
Is it,
right?
like,
So
cool or something?
I'm
Or
thinking
charm?
it's either
It's not charm.
charm or negotiation. Well, you tell me. I'll accept either, but you tell me which one and why.
I mean, I'm better at charm, but I also am not trying to be charming. I'm trying to be like, look, everyone knows how everyone does things, and just get over being coy. So it's
Sure.
probably negotiation.
Sure, wonderful. All right, so I already said you had a boost, so go ahead and give yourself that boost from earlier for
'Kay,
sure.
a
And
blue.
this is just going to be average.
'Kay.
She's not being intentionally deceptive.
I'm gonna put the purple in on my end just to see if it works this time. Because
that might give us 3 purples, but
okay, we can math if something goes wrong.
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Negotiation. Well, there were 4 purples.
Well, that did 4
so-
purples, but you still kicked butt.
Yeah, I did.
so
We're gonna
so
take
let's.
the.
I'm gonna take out the 2 threat and 2 failures,
Yeah.
and bump you up to make it 5 success, and that's it. 5 success,
Cool.
which is solid. So I think the dice pool will work from here forward.
Okay.
So
Cool. I'll clear mine then.
as long as I remember to set it.
So 5 successes. Woohoo!
5 successes. Well done. So as she looks at you and she just nods. And she kind of she has like a little handbag kind of thing. Nothing special, but just a little, kind of like a purse or something like that.
Yep.
A little personal, whatever. And so she kind of reaches in there. She pulls out a small data pad and sets it on the table. She says, well, I can see you're very astute and asking all the right questions. So, the information is that I have the transponder data from the pilot. He sent it to me on an encrypted code. So, there shouldn't be anyone else that's aware that he's crashed. However, it's possible someone might know where he is and how to find him. Truth be told, I'm not sure how you're going to get out there. It's quite far out of town, and it's in a fairly dangerous spot from what I understand. And unfortunately, he's injured. That's why he can't get out of there on his own. So, she looks over to Corvix. If Jaina has steered me in the right direction, and Fear talks to be trusted, which she always is, isn't she? Then you three should be able to handle this quite easily, as I mentioned earlier. I hope you can get to my friend before it's too late. But we are on the edge, and life's dangerous. His name is Blinn Campbell. He's a Lannic, and he's a very good pilot, I assure you. It's probably the only reason he was able to land without the ship being completely destroyed.
Corvix kind of leans forward and says, so, you say he was shot down. By who?
You know, he didn't mention, so I'm not entirely sure. You'll have to ask him if you can get there in time. I guess I should say, time is somewhat of the essence. I don't mean to put too much pressure on you, but I hope he makes it okay. I don't know him that well, as you know, but he's a good pilot, he's trustworthy, and he does this job well. What more can you ask for from a smuggler, really?
He's your new side piece, isn't he? I'm just building this whole canon right here. Anyways, could you please spell the pilot's name for me, please?
I am trying to get that for you right now.
Because I definitely
Blinn
just heard,
Campbell.
like, Blimp Campbell, and I'm like,
Blinn, B-L-I, like Flynn, but Blinn Campbell.
Corvix spelled it with an M.
K-A-M-P-E-L.
Blim.
Blinn.
Nope, Blinn, B-L-I-N-N.
Give him
Communication.
the old Earth Campbell, too.
He is not a soup manufacturer. So, all right. So, she's so let's see. So you asked. Sorry, Corvix asked.
I had asked if she knew who shot him down.
Right, and so she basically responds that she's not really sure. She knows he's in trouble because he basically said he was like too injured to get back to the city on his own, and essentially, the gist of what you're getting from the conversation is that he basically sent a distress call to his contact here in Bakea. So, I think I want to ask for perception, but let me just double check. What might another one be?
Nick, can you remind me how catty is Elly? Because I have a strong desire to just be real sassy right now, and I cannot remember if that's in character.
What?
I mean, you should let it rip, but like, Elly was always kind of like a little bit nervous.
I know,
and
like,
but
I
we
want to be
had-
catty
but-
so bad.
we haven't aside from Fear Talk, I don't remember her encountering many other
I
female
know.
individuals. So
I see Elly as being like her Leku is like one is brain and one is sass.
I mean, yeah.
Amazing.
If you feel like it, I'd say let it
Look,
rip.
like, I Nifer really want to be sassy right now because of the tone that you're using. You're like, well, I don't know, and I'm like, oh, that's a specific type of person.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what. There's. I was gonna ask for this in a broader sense, but let's just do, I guess, perception. I think. I would also accept a streetwise for all three of you.
Yeah, I want
I'll
to
take that
streetwise
streetwise.
this.
Yeah, perception or streetwise.
All of us are immediately like, nah, let's go sketchy.
Is it all set?
And again, this is average. She's not terribly hard to read. Although, wait a minute, before you roll it, she is she's gonna count. I think she's gonna count as an adversary. So she's gonna have one purple and one red, and none of you have used light side yet. So if you would like to at any point, remember they are available. You can use them for story elements, or you can just bump your roll.
Nick has a boost to his next roll, by the way.
Kane, you do get a boost on this one.
Get you your boost.
Am I set?
Yeah, dice pool's ready.
Do you want me to? Do I add the boost on my side?
Yeah, because then it won't
yes,
affect all
you
of
would
us.
add the boost.
Beautiful.
Because
Okay.
it's for you specific.
Thanks,
so
Roll20,
streetwise or
for having
perception.
this dice roller.
Yes, I will do the the roll 20 when we.
Kane
Wrap
gets
it up at the end.
3 success, 1 advantage.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
You see right through her.
I
Nice.
get 2. Elly gets 2 success, 1 threat, and a triumph.
I love it. That's so perfect. I've got exactly what you need for that. I think.
Okay, but I have a
Sassy.
suggestion.
Sure.
Corvix.
Yeah,
Go,
call it out,
Corvix,
Kev.
go.
Corvix got 2 successes, 2 threats.
Okay, I would like to hear Elly's triumph suggestion. I have a suggestion as well. We'll see. So let's
It
talk it out.
probably works together well because my only suggestion is she is threatened by me as a person. Because
Nice.
I'm closer to
Nice.
Kane than she is now. Yeah.
What I was gonna suggest is the triumph is essentially that Elly can just see right through her.
Yes.
She you just know exactly what her MO is. You know exactly what kind of person she is. The whole you
Yes.
get the whole readout. All right, you all got plenty of success for this, and Kane, I'm not sure what you want to do with your advantage. You can think about that. Elly, I'm gonna so for the threat, why don't you just take 1 strain?
Yep.
Because it's
I feel threatened
something
too.
about her is rubbing you. What's that?
I feel threatened too.
Yeah, there
Absolutely.
is something. This is an attractive female. She's obviously powerful. She has some connections. It's bringing up old stuff.
I'm seeing the smolders that are happening.
Right? And exactly. There's a little jealousy maybe. And
I'm
so-
like, wait, why am
so
I so
for-
defensive of Kane right now?
I don't know. So Corvix, I'm gonna say the same thing for your 2 threat. Why don't you take 2 strain? And again, this is one of those situations where it's like, biological organisms can be often very difficult to understand and comprehend the nuances of it.
So Corvix, in the middle of this conversation, because of the strain and his confusion with the situation, he's just going to go, there appears to be a lot of tension in this room.
Perfect.
Yes, good.
Perfect.
I support
So
this.
with the successes, all 3 of you can understand that she's a performer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is obviously she's putting on a front, right? The sass, her personality, like it's like the makeup on her face. It's all a show.
Kane.
You sense that part of it is on some level. Part of it is kind of like professional, like it would be almost like it would be wrong for her to let you know who you're not friends. You're just doing business. it would be sort of wrong or weird for her to let you know exactly who she is. But part of it is like she's just meeting you, so a little bit of it is like protecting herself and that kind of thing. So that's what you all sort of suss out. It's like she's giving you she's giving you she seems to be giving you all the information. She doesn't seem to be like intentionally holding anything back. If there's more to be gleaned, she might not have the information. What Elly gets with the triumph is you understand that this is the type of person that knows she can use her fame and her sexuality to manipulate other people. There's a little bit of that happening right now. You also sense that she's it's like she's playing in a backwater bar. So she's probably not making like huge amounts of money as a performer, even if she is on the Hut payroll or if she is working with Max Rebo or whatever. Like she probably does okay, but she also gives you this impression of being like an ambitious person, and like so that's not enough for her.
Mm-hmm.
She wants more.
Mm-hmm.
And if she doesn't get those crates, she doesn't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So for her to dole out 1,500 credits to the three of you, it seems like, you know.
No,
and I'll give you even one more.
Continue on that.
What's that?
It probably seems like, and I'm like, no, hang on, use more words, please.
Sorry.
Finish that conclusion.
So it seems like, she seems like she feels like she's running out of time.
Okay.
So when she's telling you all he's injured, you're sure she's telling you the truth. Again, she doesn't seem to be lying.
Okay.
But
she's
if
under
there's
more stress,
urgency-
so she's trying to put us under more stress.
there's a little bit of that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very blatant. That you read it exactly. So with that, so she sees a little bit of hesitance from the group of you, and she says, "Now look, friends, if 500 credits for each of you isn't enough, I can understand, and all I can say is that I only need to receive 4 crates. There may be more on the ship, and maybe you can work something out with your... Oh, great, I already forgot the name. Maybe you can work something out with Blinn when you get there. I need 4 crates to get to my client. If you can retrieve 4 traits, I'll personally pay you 500 credits. That's the deal. Take it or leave it."
One last piece of additional information. What's in the crates? Are we about to deal with transporting live animals or anything illegal or...
I just need to know what skill tree to pick up.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me... Let's do this one as a charm. See if you can get a little bit of extra information from her.
All right. Is the dice pool set?
Kane had an advantage, I think, so...
Pass a
You
boost.
want to take a boost?
Pass that
Yeah.
boost. So I'll add the boost. Or you, Gregory.
No, you should. Anytime there's a boost, I want you all to
Good
add
deal.
it. Positive. You all add positive die.
And
I'm going
you
to handle
deal
all the
negatives.
negative die.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's the way we're
I'll
gonna
be
do
positive.
it. Rock and roll.
Ready, set?
Yes, ma'am. Boom!
4 successes and a triumph.
That's awesome.
I have made another nemesis and I love it.
So no, actually, completely the contrary.
Boo.
So
I'm a hater.
you notice very clearly that like her whole attitude towards Elly completely changes. She's like, I like the way you operate. I can see why Furtok recommended you. I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you in on the only last bit of information I have, because it might help you speed things along.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
There are 4 crates that I need. 2 of the crates contain weapons. 2 of the crates contain armor. I need all of the contents in the crates to be presented in
Tagged.
working order, untouched. Now, They are weapons. You can assume what you will from there. But beyond that, I don't know what else to tell you. As I mentioned, I need to receive 4. You may get lucky and find that there are more than 4 crates available for retrieval. And the last bit of that triumph is that I'm just sort of above the table. I'm going to let you know, you get the sense that you've actually more like made a friend.
Ha!
Like made a, like this is going to turn into a very good connection.
She respects
At least
me.
it's
Hooray.
yeah, she totally respects you. It's starting out that way. Like everything is starting out in a way that the best working relationships start out. So you get a really good feeling from
I look like I
the
know what I'm
interchange.
doing. Yes.
you. Sure, dude. Totally.
Kane's gonna take a few steps forward towards her and kind of like cool guy lean on the desk.
Oh no. You're about to ruin my entire reputation that I just built.
And
That's what you're going to do.
He's gonna kind of like look back and then lean in a little bit, and he says, "Rizzy, listen, listen. I'll tell you what. This sounds like a pretty straightforward kind of job. How about we cut the droid out, and you can keep 250 of those credits."
Korvix
Alright,
leans back with
so
his fingers peopled.
I would like a charm on this one, and I'm gonna give you a setback. You saw her bristle when you used that
pet
that
name.
nickname. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So all the work that Elly has done,
Look what you
you're
just
like
did.
working against it. So give me a charm roll.
All right.
The dice pool set.
Ah!
Hey!
Somehow
not bad. One
unbelievable.
success.
There shouldn't have been a boost in there. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But
Okay,
still,
so one
okay.
success,
Yeah,
one
one
threat.
success and 1 threat. So somehow,
Okay.
minus all, I had a setback, I had a difficulty, and a challenge with only 2 green, and somehow managed to roll a success still. Incredible.
Yep, it works. That's the way it goes. That's why we love this game. And remember, you could have used one of the light side points, y'all. I'll try to suggest it ahead of time. in the
I'm
future.
always
Alright,
so afraid of using those. I don't think
So
I'm
here's
ever
what
gonna get
happens.
over it.
So Kane, you lean in and you say this to her. Ristel leans back, and she bristled a little bit, but you get the sense that she was more amused by it than upset.
Yeah, because
So-
you're
so-
still hot. Like,
Yeah, you're still a good-looking guy, but you get, it was sort of a low play. Like it wasn't very sophisticated.
Yeah.
It wasn't very, it was a little too on the nose and like in your face, like too forward or whatever. Whereas Elly was a little more subtle, but also a little more like straight to the matter of fact, kind of like cut to the chase. Let's get
we're
to
here.
business.
We've done
she's-
this before.
Right. So she leans back. So you lean in, she leans back. So that's very obvious body language. And she says, "Now, Kane, you'll need a medic." And she points to Korvix.
Korvix kind of just quirks his head to the side in that very, very droid-like kind of way. And like I said, it's hard to see where he's actually looking because of the lack of photoreceptors, but it looks like he regards the other two, and he says, "Judging by what I see here, you're gonna need me to get your pilot back."
He's got a point. Our crew doesn't have the best track record with patching each other up. I just say this very lowly to
Right.
Kane.
He reminds me of that droid on the ship, let me tell you.
I was gonna say the
Alright.
same thing.
That's awesome. I like the idea that happens quietly in the room. So at this point, Ristel says, "Do we have an accord?"
Yeah, transfer the coordinates.
Done. She swipes the data pad. I'm assuming you pull out a data
Yeah, I
pad or
have
something
mine
that you can.
that I'll just link
So
up.
perfect. So it sends transponder coordinates to your data pad. She takes it, puts it back, and she says, "Well, I need to freshen up before I get back on stage. I hope you'll stay for the second set. It's a little more lively than the first."
Oh, but you wouldn't
And then
want your pilot getting any more hurt while you're up there, would you?
It's up to you entirely. So with that, she says, she says, okay, he's just a pilot. He's not a friend. I hope he survives, but I just need those crates. I hope that doesn't make me seem heartless, but I'm just a girl trying to get by. And then she walks out the door. And with that, we're going to take a short intermission, folks. We're going to step away. We could get some water, refresh ourselves, and so forth. So give us about 5 or 10 minutes, and we will come right back to more Second Sunrise action here. Thank you for joining us. Please be patient with me as the GM as I get things rolling, and stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Cervix is back.
Nick is singing for us a rendition of his
Guess who's
favorite
back?
song. No, I'm just
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Ooh, baby.
Hello, everyone. Thank you
We're
for
back.
staying with us. We're
If you
back
couldn't
from our
tell.
short break. I hope you have refreshed yourself with a beverage or water or a bathroom break or whatever you needed. We're ready to get
Shoot, I
going
forgot to
here
do
again.
all of those things.
It's too late. We're doing it live.
All right.
It's a good thing you're wearing adult diapers.
Good thing. So, just to reset the scene, there is currently live music. In a few more moments, there will once again be live music happening inside Furtalk's lounge. You are in Furtalk's office. Ristal Sant just excused herself to go get ready for her second set of the evening. And now Corvix, Elly, and Kane find themselves face to face with each other for the first time without anyone else around. So as the door closes behind Ristal, tell me what happens.
Rizzy?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
We got to find a way to get off of this rock. The second sunrise isn't going to cut it right now.
Also, I don't think that from the coordinates, we would be able to use that anyways, so we need to find a way to get to the pilot and get this job done.
Kane is going to walk right up to Corvix and look into his hole. What are we calling that? Face hole?
His face.
His face hole, yeah.
Yeah.
Just say his face.
He looks right into the face hole and says, I don't suppose you keep a hyperdrive in there, do you?
In here, I don't.
Yeah, looks like where I'd keep one.
Well,
thank God.
I can't say that I'm much of a pilot, but I can put you back together. And then he looks him over and he's like, maybe.
Kane looks down confused.
Well, that's about as much success as we've had with patching ourselves up, so welcome to the team temporarily.
It does sound like the bar has been set pretty low. I'm confident that I'll be able to help.
And we'll see.
I want to love you so bad.
Does Kane have any visible scars?
Probably, yeah, lots of them.
Do you want to describe one for us?
He's got this pretty gnarly one on his arm
Oh.
that looks like it's... please, Nifer, I would not scar up this face.
It's right here. The scar's right there.
A little bit of a...
Hang on, let me show you.
Perfect.
yeah, he's got there's a divot in his arm, where you got those two bones that kind of crisscross, and you can almost see that divot in his arm, because it's that deep of a scar.
Ooh, that deep of a scar.
So,
Do you mean that emotionally too? Because
I don't know if we're close enough yet for that.
Okay.
So Corvix, you can kind of ascertain that he's obviously a combatant type. You kind of go through your databanks internally and you recognize the obvious signature that you're probably this individual probably needs frequent servicing, patching.
Corvix kind of stands up just a little straighter and steps forward into Kane's space, his bubble, and he's got a finger up in a very human emotion. And he's like, I can patch you up. I can help. I am an asset to the team, and I'm good with the blaster. However, I'm getting a full cut.
I don't think that's been a question.
He looks at her and says, you'd be surprised.
That definitely garners a little bit of respect from Kane. He's never seen a droid kind of definitely stand up to his crap before, so he gets a little nod, and he's like, fair enough, full cut.
Corvix nods.
So that still
So?
Go ahead.
still leaves the problem of how we get off this rock.
Did we get clarification on that? Was the crash landing on a different planet or planetoid, or was it on
Good
Silk Road
question.
somewhere?
I think it's on this one.
Yes. So
I meant to ask, but I did not.
Let me clear up that. It was definitely so. What she had said was he was headed to this planet and crash landed outside of Vikaea. He wasn't able to make it to Vikaea. She has the coordinates from his transponder, so you'll sort of be able to use that. Well, you might be able to use that as like a homing beacon or something. There are ways we can talk about that kind of thing if you want to go that route.
Just lock onto the signal.
That might work. So she said he sent a encrypted message to her that he had been attacked and was and forced to crash land. He wasn't going to make it into the port, into the spaceport. So and that he was injured. Please help. And she probably didn't say it, and there might not be any way for you to discern this, but I'm just going to let you all know the signal was sent, like his message was sent after he crashed.
Yeah.
So he indicated like, I crashed, I can't make it back to port, send help.
Yeah.
Like an SOS, if you will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Save our shipment.
That was a good one, yeah.
That was quick.
Hey, I try. Can you remind me what the Star Wars equivalent of like an ATV is? Because I feel like we just go find one of those, we snag it, and we just go.
Swoop bike. No wheels.
Yeah,
no wheels, no
exactly.
buttons, no zippers.
We get some swoop bikes.
There are speeder. So, these would be common knowledge check for everybody,
Yeah.
or for Nifer.
I
mean, maybe
don't
just
know.
for Elly, because Elly is thinking about it.
Yep. Yes.
So let's
What
make
type of
this
knowledge?
I think it would probably just be like an easy education. So let me set that dice pool.
You said just Elly?
Yep.
Unless she's posing the question to all of you.
I have not so far.
Yeah.
I
so
Nifer didn't know what the Star Wars equivalent was, so I thought I'd ask what I would know.
So the Star Wars equivalent of an ATV, I mean, some worlds probably still use that type of device. Broader spectrum would be more like a speeder.
Speeder or swoop bikes, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
I would like to make an education check, please.
Yeah, the pool's ready. Oh.
I would like
So-
to have 1 failure but 3 advantages, please. I
Yep.
have never had to deal with overland transportation, apparently.
You
living
grew
on
up
Coruscant.
You grew up on Coruscant. You're like, we have to go where?
Sorry,
How
the
do
desert?
we get there?
Can't we just call it taxi?
That's pretty much, yes, exactly. That's probably the thought that pops into your mind. It's
Yep.
like, Can we take a taxi or
I've
something
not done
like
this
that?
before. Shoot.
With what? Do you have any thoughts for your advantage? If you have any strain, you could certainly recuperate some of that.
Let me look
You
at
do.
my
It looks like you got
advantages.
3 strain. So if you want to zero that back out, that would be fine.
Sure. I'll just fix my strain. Thinking apparently calms me down.
I guess so. This is nice new information about Elly.
I feel comforted by thinking through plans, even if the plans are very fruitless. But at that point, after having healed my strain and realized I know nothing, I will think to share my ideas with the group and be like, are there perhaps just, vehicles here that we could just use instead of having to think about getting the sunrise over there? Could we just use some from in the city?
I suppose we could. We could.
It also
We could probably go back over to Drifter's garage and see if he's got anything laying around we might be able to pick up on the cheap.
That's true. We could also just not have to buy one. We could just rent one, probably, right?
Well, I'd assume that it also
Maybe.
costs money.
You could
But
rent
yes,
one.
but less.
You could borrow one.
Borrow one.
I certainly don't have a speeder of my own. I would suggest renting, perhaps.
Yes, speedos. That's what we're looking for now. Let's go.
Apparently, this is the do the right thing crew.
Eh.
I love it.
Look, I just got a stern talking to about you shot somebody and that's out of character. What is going on? So now I have to make the good choices.
Well, you did start the game saying that Elly was going to try not to ever shoot anyone. So it's a fair question going into season 2, I think.
I'm aware.
Sometimes you just gotta shoot.
Sometimes you just gotta shoot
Absolutely.
your cousin.
For real.
I don't particularly feel the need to watch the second half of her set, and Kane, I'm guessing you don't either, so shall we go?
The music picks up in the background as the set starts.
I mean, he's already crashed. What's another 5 minutes, I guess.
Oh, so you do want to stay and listen?
If we don't have to. I mean, if nobody else wants to.
It occurs to
Korvix,
the
it
three.
looks like deciding vote goes to you.
He quirks his head again, considering, and he says, "Not my cup of tea. I'm fine with leaving."
Yeah. Leaving's fine. We could do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it occurs to the three of you 2 things. It is getting on in the evening. You certainly could try heading out tonight if you can find a way to get out. But 1, you don't have, as you've just sort of talked out, you don't have transportation. But 2, you also don't know where you're going. All you have is coordinates.
What can I do to fix that from my datapad? Do I have a map that I can be like, oh, Google Earth,
Can I download the map app?
Google Socorro?
So
I have Google Socorro. Come on.
I think that's gonna require some maybe some computers or something. Can you figure out how this?
That's how we got into the 4-way party split. Is I failed the computers check. But okay, fine.
Hey,
Let me at it.
maybe give it to the droid. Let him try. Droids are supposed to be good with computers, right?
So you just assume that I'm good with computers because I'm a droid.
Well, yeah.
Well, we have a droid that's
Well,
very
I'm not.
similar in temperament to you who's very good at computers. So maybe he's just trying to be associative.
So I would like to suggest you all know where the second sunrise is, and the second sunrise has navigation programs within it. It has done some surveying of Vikaea and the surrounding areas already, so maybe you flip a light side point and use some of that information as a intersection where you plug the coordinates in with the ship's info.
Don't do it. He just wants more dark side points.
I'm
We have
just
Google Maps
suggesting
back on the ship. Players, we want Google Maps. DM, you have Google Maps at home.
I will pull the stream over.
Yeah,
So-
let's do it. Let's go get Google Maps. We'll flip a light side. I'll bite that bullet.
Isn't the docks are on like the edge of town, right? If I remember, I think that's kind of like the farthest thing. I mean, it's not a very big town, but
Yeah.
I would say so. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That they're towards the edge for sure.
so maybe we head to Drifters and then catch the ship on our way out.
Sounds
And-
good. Like a plan.
Drifters is a place where we may acquire some speeders.
That's as good a guess as any. If anyone's got something laying around, it's definitely Drifter.
Well, I don't think there's any advantage to wasting any more time, shall we?
After you.
I'm
Corvix
walking
will lead
out.
the way out. Yeah.
It's like they're gonna
So-
fight over who goes first. Like, no, I'm going.
No, you go first. No, you go first.
On your
I'm
way out,
already
Furtok gives you a look just to like sort of check in. Sees the three of you together and kind of like shrugs her shoulders.
Cool guy nod.
Mm-hmm.
I
Corvix
roll.
will also give a cool guy nod.
Nice.
Ellie's just gonna eye roll and look at the boys and then just kind of laugh.
She nods, and it means exactly the right thing
Yep.
to each of you.
Yep.
So
Ooh,
so
the
you lock the
ambiguous
door
nod.
and head back in and head your way out out from Furtok's into the night air.
Kane takes a second to take one last look and kind of walks backwards out the door.
Nice. So you've been to Drifters once before, so you kind of know where the garage is, and it doesn't take you very long to get there. Once you're there, it looks kind of dark. Again, it's later in the day, early evening, I guess. But what would you like to do? You're gonna just see if he's around, try
Look
to
if-
get straight
yeah.
in.
Look if he's around. Is
Um,
there a closed for the night sign?
You don't see any. You see the sign for Drifters, but there's no like open close kind of thing like that.
I'll just
Are
bang.
there any lights on in the windows or anything?
Any what?
Any lights in the windows or anything to see? Indicate someone's home?
Why don't you all make a perception check? This will be an easy perception check.
Kane probably won't make a perception check. He's probably not like observing any signs. Like he's probably the one knocking on the door
Right on.
while everyone else is like, is anybody home?
So,
2
Elly
success,
got-
2 advantage.
and Corvix got.
One success, one advantage.
So you both noticed that it looked the main shop looks kind of dark, but it looks like there's some lights out back.
I'll point Kane around back.
Like what
And
would
have
be
him
the
go
yard
first.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll sidestep down the alleyway.
You said it's approaching like nighttime, right?
Yeah, it is.
Corvix is going to do a quick look around the street to see if there's anyone particularly interested in this group walking into the alley.
So we'll say with your advantage that you don't see anyone. You see people that are seem to be just doing their thing, walking to somewhere from somewhere, but no one is like actively appears to be like following you or any of that kind of thing, or or overtly interested in what y'all are about.
Okay, he'll take up the rear then.
Elly has 2 advantage, so you can
Pass boosts.
pocket. Sure. So we'll pocket that for the next one. I'm gonna say, you know what? How about this? The advantage is that you realize that the gate to the yard is still open. It's unlocked and open,
Okay, so
and you see the lights out back.
I'm gonna start doing my military gestures, hand signals, and then I'm gonna roll a stealth check.
Sure. You're gonna go around like the other way or something.
No, I'm just gonna kind of continue on, but like trying to tell them to
Okay.
hold, and then kind of like start creeping, peeking slowly around the corner.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wasn't planning on moving.
Cool.
I was gonna let Kane look in the yard. I was just
This is
gonna
gonna be a
park out front.
difficult check because there are like street lights and it's like just past sunset, so there's still a fair bit of light in the sky. It's not dark yet. It's ready when you are,
And boost.
and you can take that boost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
that's fair, because Elly's looking out for you.
Kane,
Holy moly!
Kane got 5
jeez.
success and 1 threat.
Yeah.
No, it sounded like a question mark, but it's a threat. There's
That's,
1 threat.
Spectacular. You ghost against the building. You're able to it's one of those moments where I would say probably Elly maybe looks for Kane and is like, where did he go? And your your training it's very obvious.
Nope.
That you do know what you're doing in cases like this. The way you're moving, the places you're choosing to like stop and when you're choosing to move and that sort of thing. Any ideas for the threat?
I feel like as I get to the edge of the gate and kind of like start to peer into the yard beyond, I kind of like bump the gate and the latch kind of like clicks.
Sure.
I was gonna say there's a space raccoon on the trash can.
Right.
Hissing at me.
But your stealth check was successful. That's cool. So maybe there's a little bit more noise than you intended.
Yeah,
Somehow there's a like one odd noise, even though your movements are perfect.
Well,
and
like
you're being.
so I'd want it to be successful. Like, so I don't, if there is anything on the other side, maybe it's that like I peek around and then like I see that thing and then make a noise and like hide real quick. And so like they're if there is anything over there, they're sort of alerted to it, but but don't actually end up seeing me. So I did manage to kind of like hide, but like almost gave myself away there.
So here's what happens. Right when you get to the edge, this occurs, and then you hear Drifter calling out from. He's like, "What's that? Who's there?"
I'll just like hold my hand up to the other two.
Where are Elly and Corvix?
I was just like parked out the front still. I didn't even follow him. I like looked around the corner, saw he was not there already, and was like, oh.
Corvix should be like awkwardly halfway down the dark alley, like
It's
trying to
not-
halfway
there's no-
follow Kane and then halfway
Yeah.
following or staying with Elly.
Okay. And again, this is not like dark street alley kind of stuff. There's actually a fairly good bit of light around and such. All right, so Drifter sees you raise your hand and he's like, "Who is that?
Oh, he sees me raise my.
Come out here! I can't see you."
I'll start following with Corvix just to keep the party together.
Kane's just
He
waiting.
said that to Kane, you're waiting.
Yeah.
Corvix will
He probably
shuffle forward to behind Kane.
he probably didn't see me raise my hand. It was like I was telling the two behind me to kind of like wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
I misunderstood.
No, you're good.
So you actually stayed hidden when he says that.
Yeah.
You know what? Your success was so good with the stealth. I'm gonna say he like says that, but then is like, he just blows it off and goes back to what he was doing.
All right, and
So he's like, hey, who's that?
Do we maybe
There's no
wanna,
response. He's like, huh. All right, and he goes back to whatever he was doing.
Do we maybe want to like say we're friends of Vosk's or something?
I don't remember leaving on good terms last time, so we might want to be
That's
careful.
Okay. Out of character, didn't we leave on okay terms?
I mean, you're friends of Vosk's. He
Vosk left.
he
on
got a
fine
little
terms with
suspicious
Drifter.
of Kane, but I wouldn't say it was anything negative.
That's
Everyone's
like,
a little
hey, dude.
suspicious of Kane.
Yeah,
it's fine.
exactly.
yeah, because that was the place I was trying to like sneak into the back door while y'all were talking to him, right?
Right.
And they was like doing shady shit in the back.
Okay, I'll do the talking. Because I was
So-
fine with Drifter.
Corvix kind of leans into their conversation, and he's like, "You don't even know who we're seeing?"
His name is Drifter, and we know him. We're just making sure that we left on good terms. Okay?
Sure. And then he leans back.
I'm just gonna like knock on the door really loudly a second. Just be like, "Hello, Drifter, friends of Vosk's. I don't know if you remember us."
Say, what? Yeah, I'm in the back. I'm trying to close up. What's going on?
Do you mind if we maybe are your last customers for tonight?
I suppose the gate's open. Come on back.
Thank you. Push the.
You see, he's
Gate
just
open.
like puttering around. I'm gonna say he's got a droid in the yard with him. That's just like a little service droid.
Yep.
Tidying up, moving things around, whatever. It's just doing little tasks for him. He seems to be like checking things over, maybe puttering around with something. End of the day kind of whatever. So he sort of like grabs a rag and starts wiping his hands as he stands to look at you, the
Hi.
group of you.
Do the droids have restraining bolts on them?
Oh no.
Make a perception check. This is going to be. I'm gonna say it's gonna be. You guys aren't flipping any. I'm gonna flip a dark side point. I'm gonna say it's an average check, but I'm gonna give you a. I'm gonna raise it, and there's gonna be one setback because it's the
dim.
lights in that weird, transition period, and there's only like one light on in the yard right now, so use a dark side. Okay, you've all got. There's 5 light sides. Use them.
Woo.
You can use one
should
on this
there
roll
be-
if you would like.
Shouldn't you have one? 'Cause I used one.
Oh, did you?
I did.
You must not
I
have
said I'm
ever
flipping it.
clicked it. Okay, so I'll put it back to 4 and 1.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I ruined our record, guys.
Well, we were gonna do that when you went back to okay, we'll say you used it to and you recall. Oh, wait a minute, Zarko told me, or Voss told me that there's schematic or there's like
Right.
layouts of the area on the ship.
Yeah. That's what it was used for. For Google
Corvix is
Maps.
gonna selfishly
Anyways.
use all the light side points,
I mean, do it. That's
I love it.
what they're for. Flip
but not this time.
Can-
So just perception.
Rules question, real quick. Can you use multiple light side points on the same roll?
You can use one light side for the players and one for the GM.
Got it.
I don't have a page
One-
reference for that, but I know
one-
that is the rule.
One for all the players.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's like per check, one for the players,
Yeah.
one for the DM. You can't flop them back and forth.
Gotcha.
That is correct.
See,
So
we're still
this
teaching.
is ready to roll, correct?
Yep, you're set.
So Corvix rolled 1 success and 1 threat on his ocular pat down of the droid situation.
Ocular pat
Excuse
now.
me. So, that's a great question. I am going to say that there is a restraining bolt on it, and
him
it
back.
causes you a little bit of strain, but it looks like it's I don't want to say it. It's he it's almost more like a locator kind of like it's not I'm not sure how to explain it. So it's like
It's like parental controls.
Yeah, it's kind of like
It's like Find My iPhone.
Yeah.
something more like along those lines than like
Suppressing
the
will.
hardcore like I own you.
So
Fine.
instead of
It
being
has the
strictly
fine
controlled,
reference.
he just has this being low jacked.
Something like that, yeah. Um it's almost like it's there to protect his property kind of thing. Like
If
you would
lost, return
imagine
to
he
Drifter.
probably sees it as property, so it might rankle Corvix, which is why that threat is going to be one strain for Corvix. But it's you get the sense that it's like he doesn't want it to get stolen.
Right.
There's you know enough about the city you're in to know that there is crime, quite a bit of it, in fact. So it's probably more of that kind of thing than necessarily like he's some kind of taskmaster. But you don't know. It's unclear without getting more information. So you gain a strain. You do see something on the robot as it goes about its chores, and you pull a strain. He looks Drifter looks at the group of you, and he kind of looks at Corvix, sort of, it's clearly an unfamiliar look, but he looks back to Elly and Kane. He says, yeah, you two, you were in here a couple weeks back, weren't you?
Yes, we're wondering if you could help us out again.
Friends of Vosk's, right?
That's what I said.
Something like that.
He was by here a little while ago.
Yes, he's picking up parts for our ship. We were wondering if we could maybe get our hands on a speeder?
Well, that depends. I mean, are you looking to purchase one outright, or what are we talking?
Not really. We were thinking probably just... How long do you think will take, boys? I kind of look back at them for their opinion.
We could have it. We could have it back by the time you open tomorrow. You won't even know it's gone.
Borrowing for a night.
You got a little business going on after hours, as they say, huh?
I just didn't want to listen to the rest of that person's set before we started the job. Can you blame me?
Oh, are you talking about Ristal?
I think that might have been a name.
I'm gonna have to head over to Furtox. I hope she's still playing. But anyway,
Just
business.
savage.
So you need a speeder. Does it need anything kind of special, like you need
We've
a real
got
fast one, or you need something that's low
We've got
profile, or
picked up
what?
some
What are you guys? What are you
crates.
looking for?
So anything that can carry cargo crates?
Car transport kind of
Yeah.
needs. Okay. Now
and
we're
all of us,
talking.
of course.
It's gotta
Say
be
you
able
only
to.
need it for a night.
It's gotta be able to
Yeah,
hold our
what's that?
droid too.
I said all of us.
Right. I mean, I figured you meant the group of you. All right. So 3 passengers, some cargo for a night. I'll tell you what. How about this? 200 credits up front. You bring it back in good condition, I'll give you back 50 credits. Since you're friends of Vosk's.
that's really kind of you. Let me look up where I keep my money in my inventory, and I can see about that.
How about we lend you 300
Hang on.
credits and you give us back 2?
Please,
Well,
please
I
follow that
mean,
up with
see,
200.
now you're asking for it for 100 credits. I'll take a negotiation.
Hang
Uh,
on. I'm looking for where I keep my money on my
Sure,
character
sure.
sheet. Otherwise, I would be helping with this.
In your purse, duh. In
probably
your
in
belt
inventory.
satchel.
You might want to help with this because I got 2 green on the
I'm
negotiations.
planning on it. I'm good with
It's on the
people.
first page, character info under character.
If I do this, the negotiations will be short.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guess what? I have 469 credits.
Yeah, nice. Y'all should have plenty. Minus
I
the
forgot
2
about
from
that.
earlier in the evening, or 3 from earlier in the evening.
Oh,
Sorry. Keep you honest.
Okay.
Here,
in
do
that
you want me to
case,
take them off my sheet?
Can I give you 97? Because then I have 369.
So,
I'm 12, everyone. Anyways, I definitely want to help on negotiation now that I know how to work a character sheet.
yeah.
I was doing most
Um,
of the talking anyways. So does that just by merit help? Or do I actually have to convince more?
Well, let's see. Since Kane was the one that specifically asked the question,
Yeah.
I'd like him to make the roll.
Yeah.
But Elly is definitely sort of like influencing the role. So
Yes.
let's do the help stuff.
So I have 4 green.
Yeah, yours is definitely better than mine. I have 2 green.
Sweet.
So you
So-
give me a boost?
I think we use the
No,
pool
wait.
of
So
4.
so Ellie's got what?
I have 4 greens.
Okay. Kane's
2.
Got
2
2
green.
greens.
Yeah, so I believe we use 4 green for the
Yes.
for the roll.
Okay.
Yes.
And the no boosts on this one. I'm gonna count him as a adversary level,
Mhm.
so he's not a nemesis, but he's out. So that means 1 purple, 1 red for the skill check.
Cool.
I'm not making it an opposed roll because I don't have him statted out yet, and I don't think Steven or I ever thought we would need him statted. So so we'll just call him an adversary and leave it at that.
We'll blame it
So-
on Steven. Steven didn't stat him.
Yeah, come
It's
on,
right.
Steven.
There you go. It's
He's not here
right.
to
Now
defend
Steven
himself,
is the
so-
best. We know. It even
Yes,
says
Steven.
so on your page. Steven is the best GM in the galaxy. So we're not going to blame anything on Steven.
But guys, he's a bad DM.
He's the best bad DM.
You got me there. All right, make the roll.
Come on, buddy.
You
got this.
You want me to roll it?
Pool is set.
Yeah, you
The
have
pool
to.
is
You're the
set.
one
Go
that's
for
doing
it.
the talking.
You have to.
Oh, okay.
But you
the
just
one
bump
that
it up. Make
decides.
sure you
Yeah,
bump it
yeah.
up to 4.
I got you now. I didn't know how to do that for a second, but I'm here. All right.
Add 2 green to your
Welcome back.
pool.
Let there
and
be
then click on negotiate.
negotiation. All right.
Hey!
Got 2
Very
Call
good.
it out.
2 success and a threat.
So, what that's gonna mean is that
I think I think he would take that deal because I got the success, and then after we've shook or done the deal, I think he would say something to the effect of like, if it doesn't come back, in one piece, you owe me an extra 100.
Yeah.
well, if it doesn't come back in one piece, you're gonna pay for the whole,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm gonna take it out of Vosk and Zarko, your crewmates there probably. But no, so I'm using Zarko's voice for some reason. So forgive me, I don't know why that happened. He says, "Well, so look, all right, that 300 up front, 100 when you come back. Yeah, I'll give you 200. We'll call it 100. You drive a hard bargain, kid. But I guess you are Vosk's friend. And it seems like with your ship and the way it is, you're gonna be bringing me more credits anyway. So why not? put it in. And he shakes your hand, and he like squeezes the crap out of your hand. And then, but I want you to take one strain from this too as well. It gave you like a little bit of nerves of like, he's not gonna go for it, or he doesn't like me, or I shouldn't have been trying to sneak into his back room or whatever. So the strain of the situation weighs a little bit on Kane, I think.
Close one.
Well, it's not like we can go anywhere without you, so we'll be sure to bring it back.
He's like, yeah, just give me a minute to get the keys and fire it up.
Thank
So
you.
so he goes into the shop, comes out a few minutes later.
Can I take a look around while he's inside?
Sure.
We free the droid. No.
Viva the revolution.
Viva. So, so you look around. So I need to talk a little bit with probably Vosk and Steven to get more info, but I'm thinking that Drifter is like the primary kind of scrap and salvage dealer in town, but it's more of a garage as well. So it's like I'm thinking there's a combination of like junker vehicles and equipment, ship parts, droid parts maybe. I'm not sure of all the details, but one crit's saying that makes sense. So that's probably the gist of what you see. So there's probably a few like total wrecked heaps. There's a few that are in various stages of repair. Lots of scrap and machinery. There's probably like the equivalent of like forklifts and that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah. Last time we were here, I remember he was doing like a chop shop kind of thing. So I just want to take a quick look at what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, you already sort of know that he does some backroom dealing stuff, but he runs a business too. So it's like everything on Socorro, you can imagine that everything on Socorro has some kind of underworld dealing type stuff. But because everybody knows that's doing it, there's almost this level of like, nah, it's all just like right out in front of you kind of thing.
But no like Imperial crates or markings anywhere.
Well, for sure that Drifter does work for the Imperials.
Okay.
Or at least he arranges some. So you might even
that's
see
how we
like
got into the compound.
Yeah, totally. So like even though they have their like on site people, he might have some parts or some other
okay
things on it. No, probably not. I think no. I think he definitely does some outsource, kind of like when they need some special thing, he maybe helps out. But generally speaking, they probably manage their own mechanics.
Okay.
So it's much more individuals in that. Now, one other thing too that's more lore based, and for anyone that doesn't know that's listening or watching, but also for you three as well, remember that one of the things about Socorro, again, this is where Lando Calrissian comes from, right? So one of the things about Socorro is it's renowned for the starship modifications, right? So you can imagine that's one of Drifter's specialties. Like he definitely would be a part of that whole big complex. So you probably see some of the things that are around are kind of like hot rodded. So that's why he was asking you, like, well, what do you need? Do you need a tank? Do you need a race car, a rocket, or what are you looking for? And you're like, no, we just need a work truck.
I think I just learned more about cars in the past 5 minutes than I have in the past 5 years.
It's an educational podcast, right?
That is
Galactic cars.
That has not gone away.
Galactic cars.
Exactly.
Just put space in front of everything, and it works.
Yep, it does.
So
this is my space ATV.
Right.
Space carburetors.
So a few minutes later, he comes back. You see him. He's like, "I'll be right up," and he walks out into the yard. He goes over to this speeder, and functionally, that's kind of what it is. It's like it's sort of got a cab, ish kind of thing with just a basically a flat bed behind it that you could manage to have gear laid on top. It does have repulsors, so it's not tracked or wheeled or anything like that, which can be good and bad depending on the terrain that you need to go to. But you don't know where that is yet. But at least it looks like you also don't know how large or small the crates are. The crates could be like little 2x2 boxes, but they could also be like 6 foot tall or something like this.
Yeah, they're crates of armor, meters, so they're probably going to be pretty big.
There is armor, so you can imagine that they most likely would be, and weapons.
Yeah.
So it's most likely, and Kane would probably have a real good idea about it too, is that you're probably looking at footlocker type crates. Yeah. So where they're more like maybe 1.5 meters long, 0.5 meter wide, 0.5 meter tall, or something around that.
And we have plenty of bungee cords for strapping it on, right?
Since it's the end of near the end of the game, let's flip a light side and say absolutely. There's chains.
All the loading
there's
equipment.
chains and straps and and there's even Drifter pulls up. He even shows you, look, there's even a magnetic. He's like, here's who's gonna be driving this. He says,
that'll be me.
I just look at Kane.
Right. So he says, in one piece, bring it back in one piece. Here, look. Here's how you start it. Here's how here's how you activate the magnet.
Yeah, I know how to start a speeder. Thanks.
I figured as much, but can't be too careful. All right, and if that's all, give me the 300 credits. Get on your way, because I want to go see if I can hear some of that sweet music.
I'll get.
I keep slipping into Zarko talk.
That's totally fine.
300. I can do math.
Good deal. I'm going to write this down in the player log so that we don't forget.
All right. I hand over my 300 credits.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Nick.
Yeah, I've been taking notes all night.
Okay, so you swap credits. I'm going to assume you hop in and head to the spaceport. Is that what your plan is?
Yep.
To check the Google Maps.
Yes, we'd like to check the Google Maps, please.
Holo Maps.
The Holo Maps. There we go. All right, so as you go out, you can see the camera follows the speeder van. I don't even know what to call it. Follows you all out, and then it pans back towards like the long shot of drifters, and you see lights switching. The last couple lights switching off. The droid powers down for the night, and he locks it inside, locks everything up, and
he doesn't get to go hear the music.
It's functionally it was an astromech, so take it for what it is. Again,
just an astromech.
I improv the whole thing. I'm gonna research, which means I'm gonna coordinate with Steven and Vosk a little bit, and we'll get some more information for when you return the vehicle, if you return the vehicle. So with that, you head back to the second sunrise. And is there any conversation on the ride to the ship? Elly, you get on your comm a signal that there's a message for you, and it's signified as a private message.
Great.
So
Corvix will, I'm assuming he's like in the back seat while the two of them are in the front seat.
I'm thinking it's more like a bench.
I figured it was like the whole like single bench, and I was just like
Totally.
squeezed in between you two because you two don't want to be by each other. So I'm just like,
Yep.
He'll lean forward and look over directly at Kane and be like, "So am I cargo or am I a passenger?"
I haven't decided yet.
I think
Well, I'm glad it's up to you.
Case it
Thank you.
What did Corvix say to Kane?
You asked him if he was cargo or passenger.
Oh no, what was the reply to Kane?
Oh, he said, I'm glad that you're the one who decides.
Thank you.
And he looks at Elly and he says, "Thank you. I'm Corvix, by the way. I don't know if I ever formally introduced myself."
I mean, Fair Talk
Fair
kind
Talk
of
mentioned
introduced
it,
us
yeah.
all. But
You got a
in
number,
case you're wondering,
Corvix?
I'm Elly, that one's Kane.
Corvix is my number.
Oh, it's just one of you then. That's unusual.
Or he's the 9th and IX is Roman numerals.
Well, if you must know, my serial number is C0RVX93, but I prefer to go by Corvix.
Fair enough.
So there's
Alright,
this
sorry.
moment
I'm
of
gonna play
Elly.
it if that's okay with you. It says it's private, but I trust you, okay? Okay.
Okay. So Ellie's gonna key up the.
Sure.
Okay.
Anything
So-
to break the tension.
Love it. So a a familiar voice
Oh,
keys
boy.
up on the recording. It says, let's see if I do this right. Says, "Oh no, I may have some information for you. Sorry to contact you like this, but, well, I thought I might throw out an olive branch, as they say. Contact me soon." And then it goes.
This is Ulthi, isn't it?
It is 100% Ulfi Garo. I did my best impression of Steven doing Ulfi Garo.
That was good.
So, yeah, so you recognize the voice of Ulfi Garo. He says he got. Oh, I should say. I should have had it written down. I'm sorry. It
No
says
worries.
the last thing he said before he hung up. It says, "It's not about your family. It's about one of your friends." And then there's a click, and so I'm gonna suggest that you're gonna take 2 strain from the like stress of the moment, and yeah.
I worked so hard to get those down, and they're
Does-
right back up again.
Does
No,
Ellie
no.
look like obviously disturbed by this message?
No, all the physicality that I was doing during the message was in character. I was just like, just like,
A friend of yours?
well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the last interaction we had, I told Kane he had to shoot him.
If I remember correctly, I did shoot him.
Yep. See, we're both in accordance. I love that when that happens. Yes, no. He came after me, and I told him I didn't want him to, and we may have left him in an alley somewhere.
There's the
Perfect.
insert scene of Zarko shooting the blaster out of his hand. Or off his hip.
It was Zarko. It was so good.
It was an awesome moment.
We do love that.
And then Kane just like
Plowed
smearing
into
the pavement
everyone.
with all of his minions.
We love minions versus
Right.
Kane.
Seriously. So that gets your attention, and that actually feels like a really good place to wrap it for the evening. How do y'all feel about that? We can do
Cool.
the information stuff at the ship next time, and then
Yep.
we'll get right on the way.
Before I forget,
Yes.
on the ship, I want to offer Corvix of like, you said you had medical training or were good at patching up. Take what you need from our med bay. 'Cause
Whoa.
it's in better hands for you.
Kane was not going to let him on the ship.
Yeah,
Okay.
are we getting to the ship now, or are we
Tell
saving
me
that for the
what
next
you need
session?
from the med bay.
I
I just
so
want to put it out there that that's what I want to do, but I'm going to forget if I don't say it. So, okay.
Write a note.
I'm writing it, but my notes are illegible to even myself after 2 weeks. So
That's fair enough.
yeah. So here's the scene.
Okay,
The
cool.
closing, before the closing scene, I
Yes.
guess here. The truck hovers into the bay, the pad where the ship is docked, and as you start the power down sequence, and the transmission from Ulfi clicks off. then Corvix asks, I guess, that question, or Elly makes that suggestion.
As Korvik sees the ship and sees the battle damage for the first time, and not hearing anything about it before, he just goes, "Is this your ship? I'm
Don't say it.
worried."
That's where it ends.
That's
That's the blackout.
and cut.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so good on the podcast.
That was it is. That was
gonna be
fantastic.
good.
Well done. Well
Kev
done.
wins.
Thank you so
Yay,
much, players. You were amazing tonight.
You were
Thank
great.
you to the friends of ours hanging out in the chat and commenting along and sticking around for the ride. Thank you for the listeners on the podcast and all that good stuff.
Thank
and
you
most
to
important-
Roll20 and Fantasy Flight for allowing us to use their systems and play and stuff as well.
Definitely. Yes. This podcast is, or excuse me, not podcast. This stream is made possible because of Roll20, because our good friend and the none
Lord
other
and
than
Master?
Vosk we're basically being sponsored by Roll20, which is awesome because that allows us to use the Fantasy Flight dice, which we love because we love Fantasy Flight
It's
games.
so cool.
Edge of the Empire, and it makes Roll20 work the way we like it and want it and need it to work, and it also makes it so you all in that box right there can see the results, which is cool. So thank you to Roll20. Thank you all for being here. We will see you in 2 weeks. Until then, what do we have a sign off? Did we figure out a sign off before? I don't recall.
Everyone does
Should we
their
make
best
an-
Wookiee yells. Just
Should we
kidding.
make?
I don't think we did.
We did not really.
We need to establish one for second season.
Wait,
Second
wait.
season,
Guess
second
what? Steven's
sunrise.
here. Steven, what did we do to say bye? He's in chat.
Oh, he just got here.
He
Oh,
just got here.
Steven.
Rip.
No.
Steven,
You
what
missed
did we
my
do to sign
impression
off?
of you.
It's true. He did a really good impression of you. I managed to guess which NPC it was.
But now you're gonna have to listen to the podcast. So
Now you gotta listen to the
joke's
whole
on you.
It's
I should replay it. I could do a replay for it right now.
Okay. I really don't remember how we said bye, guys.
I know.
We're all wow, guys. Give us a lot of grace and mercy
Yeah.
because it's been 3 months.
Yeah, we'll figure
Well,
it out.
love
it's
you all
been a
very
few,
much.
But-
and it's been a pretty challenging 3
We're
months for
glad to
everybody.
be back, but
so
finding our feet again.
that's right. So see you next time on the second
Bye.
sunrise.
Oh, he says thanks for listening. See you next time in a galaxy far, far away.
All right, go Gregory. Say
That
it.
is the ending.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Thank you for the reminder. So, thank you for listening. See you next time on the second sunrise, and we'll see you in a galaxy far, far away.